So something kind of major was seen yesterday at the Hopkins basketball camp, which I think was being ran by Paige Beckers. Something very, very important. And I think a lot of people are sleeping on this, not really talking too much about it. But I believe this is a big factor in things. And coming into this season, if we look from last year, who were the best teams last year? The best teams in the WNBA last year was 1, the Minnesota Lynx, 2, and I'm not talking about seeding the healthy, who were the best teams. The Lynx were the best team healthy. The second best team were the Liberty. Third best team healthy, probably the Fever. Fourth best team Aces. It's just those top three teams. None of them were healthy in the playoffs. The Lynx lost Dijonay and Fee. The Liberty lost Stewie. And the Fever lost their whole damn team other than Kelsey Mitchell, Leah Boston, and Lexi Hull. So we're looking at that. And then we look at this year, the team that's most likely to be able to run it back. Because of the fact of the way the max contracts work, you can't have 3 Supermax players. However, the team most likely to be able to run it back was the Lynx. And now Nafisa Collier, the season starts in a month. We are 4 weeks away from a season starting and she's on a scooter. Like, she's not even in a boot. She's in a cast. And as anyone who's had surgery knows, like, that type of cast, you have had surgery in the last 3 weeks. She has had ankle surgery in the last 2 or 3 weeks. There is no question about that. If she is in a cast, she's had ankle surgery recently enough. She is not going to be right to play at the start of the season. And the fact is that the timeline for her recovery, she decided to get surgery on both of her ankles. I think the timeline was in January, was 4 to 6 months. It's looking like it could very well be into that 6-month period. And you're looking at Fee maybe not coming back until July. And obviously, look, the Minnesota Lynx are going to sign Fee to the Supermax. Like, we know that's going to happen. Maybe Fee takes the max. Maybe Fee takes a max. Maybe Kayla McBride takes $900K, which means you can afford to pay Alana Smith and you can afford to pay Courtney Williams $900K with the number 2 pick, depending on what they wanted it at. So it's really interesting thing to see when it comes to Nafisa Collier, because this could be a defining factor in this WNBA season. How long Fee is injured for. Like, I understand the Minnesota Lynx are a very different team when Fee comes back. They're a really, really different team when she comes back. And we all kind of know that like, this is not a team that's going to be competing for a title without Nafisa Collier, but they're still potentially a playoff team. But like, it's very different. A team winning every single game and losing your star player for 5 games and trying to thread water without your star player. And it's very different than starting the season without the star player and trying to be in that position where you are one of the top teams in the league without the star player. That is really difficult to do. And that's a very, very different thing. That's asking a very different question of this team. And it's asking a very, very different question of Cheryl Reeve as a head coach. And then, like, obviously, once Fee comes back into this team, we're looking at this team potentially being a title contender then. But it's very hard. Like, let's just say if they're 3 or 4 games off the playoffs, it's hard to win a title from that position. Yes, I understand the Aces won a title last year when in August, like with a month to go in the season. I'm pretty sure with like 16 games to go in the season, they were out of the playoffs and sub 500. They then just won 15 of 16 or something. Or was it 16 in a row? Whatever way it was, I just remember them going on this massive run. Like, yes, that can happen. But the odds of that happening are quite low. And again, the Aces needed a 52-point beating to pretty much kickstart that comeback. But yeah, we're looking now at situations where you've now got a team that is very clearly a title contender, losing their best player for probably half of a season. And that changes everything. We saw with the Pacers. Like, the Pacers last year, without Tyrese Halliburton, if he didn't play a game, you would expect them to still be able to win a game. Whereas this year, they're the worst team in the NBA. They did lose Miles Turner too, but still, it's very, very different. So I think it'll be really interesting to see what happens with Fee and what happens with the Lynx, what happens with this team, because we're looking at a team that has potential to be the best team in the league, a team that could come into the season as championship favorites, but their best player is in a boot. And not only in a boot, sorry, I've jumped the gun. Their best player is so fresh off surgery a month ago before the season, they're not even in a boot. Like, I don't see there being any chance of her starting the season. I don't see how that happens. Like, double ankle surgery. Like, I don't see how she's going to be right. And, like, if she doesn't come back till July, she's taken a year out off the back of 2 surgeries. When you have 2 surgeries, you can't really, like, overcompensate on one leg. I guess for long-term recovery, that's probably better. But for short-term, it's going to affect you even worse. Like, she's probably not going to be the same player this season. Is Fee young enough that she can come back and still be the same player long-term? Of course. Of course. Like, Fee very well could be the exact same player in 2 years' time, back to being the best 2 or 3 player in the world. But, like, until that point, she's coming off a pretty serious surgery, ankle surgery, missing nearly a year, and had to get surgery on both ankles, like, which is not an ideal situation. And obviously, shout out the referees. And people are like, "Oh, the referees were the reason she got injured." But it's like, well, no. Even if the refs blew a foul, Alyssa Thomas still plowed through her. Like, Alyssa Thomas still plowed through her ankles. The refs blowing a foul did not change anything except change the outcome of that game. That's the only thing it did. But yeah, I think this could legitimately change a lot when it comes to the new WNBA season. It could change an awful lot when it comes to the Minnesota Lynx, whether or not they're willing to give a lot of short-term deals, whether they're looking long-term, or whether if you're the Minnesota Lynx, you're like, okay, maybe we instead of going all in this year, because the rumor might be that they were trading that pick, maybe if Fee's not going to be right, maybe we pull a Tim Duncan. But thankfully for the WNBA, for this league, it is a 2-year rolling odds. So the Connecticut Sun got the 5th pick this year. Like, you have to be really, really bad to get anything. And to be honest, I don't think 2-year rolling odds. And they got to win like 5 games to get better than like the 6th pick. So I don't see them doing that. But yeah, that is pretty much it, lads. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you guys think this will ruin the Lynx' chance of winning? Do you guys think that the Fever should be the favorites to win the title? Do you guys think the Lynx should still be the favorites like they were last year? And I'm going to be honest, I think most people believe if it wasn't for the Fee and Dejanay injuries, they both got hurt, let's be honest. If it wasn't for injuries to the 2 of the better players for the Minnesota Lynx, they probably win a title. So anyway, yeah, that is the video. See you guys.